This episode is sponsored by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro for free at RamseySolutions.com/invest. You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk investing, retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Today's question comes from Sadie in New Hampshire.
She says, I'm being sued by someone who is seriously injured in a car accident that was my fault. I know this process can take years and my insurance company is handling the legal, but I have substantial assets and I didn't have an umbrella policy. My home and my financial assets are at serious risk. I'm a 64-year-old single woman with about $1 million in retirement funds, $800,000 in non-retirement investments, plus $230,000 in cash in the bank. I also own a home worth about $600,000 with about $425,000 in equity. I've spent my life building a business and financial security, and I'm debt-free except for the house, but now I feel like everything is in jeopardy. I also still make a large salary from a business I own. At this point, what can I do to minimize my exposure and potential loss of wealth?
Well, it's anything you do. I'm not an attorney, and I'm certainly not an attorney in New Hampshire. I don't even know one law in New Hampshire except to follow the speed limit. But in general, as a business person, I've learned the legal theory is this, that if you move assets after a lawsuit has been filed in order to avoid people getting those lawsuits, the judge can come back later and undo that move and still give it to them. So if you took, for instance, if you took something and moved it into an LLC or moved it into a trust or something in order to do risk management, it's too late. They can undo that in most states. Again, I'm not an expert on the law, but I think that's a pretty standard legal business law piece of knowledge. So I would hire your own attorney that really knows New Hampshire law and ask that question. You have enough assets, you need to spend $10,000 or $20,000 on your own attorney and say, okay, what can we do here? What is at risk? What is not at risk? Help me assess the potential on this thing, and what is this injury? An injury of this type? Do some research. Normally have a payout of, and that kind of thing. And so, a 69-year-old, 64-year-old single lady does not typically, in most court cases, have all of her personal assets taken from her. That would be highly unusual, but it can be done. It can be done, and it depends, of course, on a lot of things. But how egregious was your mistake in the car accident? In other words, how careless were you, or was this an accident, or were you doing something over the top, in the car, that kind of thing? Weird. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm going to start assessing every one of those things. In most cases, the $1 million you have in retirement funds is not accessible to a lawsuit. Your 401ks, they can't get them. Okay, and your Roth IRAs, they can't get them in most cases. So, but the rest of the stuff, which is several $1 million that you've laid out here, is probably, you're probably right. It probably is exposed, and I'm just going to start investigating what I can do to protect it, or at least maybe make it difficult. Which gives you then the ability to try to negotiate and attempt to do that. And so, but, you're not in a real strong position. So I'm going to analyze all of my options. And I think you need legal counsel, because I'm not that, and I'm not any good at it. But George, it's the reason that I don't own anything anymore.
Nothing is in your name.
I don't own anything. My cars are in LLCs. All of my properties are in different LLCs. And once we get a certain amount of dollars in an LLC, we don't add any more.
Make a new LLC.
Yep.
Because you don't want too much of a target.
I don't own Dave Ramsey doesn't own anything. I'm really pretty poor, actually.
Personally.
And so, on a personal level.
But Sharon, on the
actual
other hand,
man, Sharon's fairly well off, yeah. Hope Sharon doesn't have a car accident.
Oh, well, this is a good reminder, honestly, for everyone listening out there. If your net worth hits $500,000 or more, it's time to get an umbrella policy.
That's good.
I was just looking at mine. I got $1 million umbrella policy once I hit that level.
And it costs $300.
Yeah, $300 a year, and that I got under insured motorist on there, uninsured motorist on there, protection as well, because that stuff can decimate you. And so you want to transfer that risk over to the insurance company.
Yeah, LLCs splitting this stuff off, number one. Then number two, having the right amount of insurance. Just call somebody like Xander Insurance. It's an insurance broker. Let them shop around and get you a policy. In her case, $1 million would have gone a long way.
Yeah. Well, and being underinsured on your auto insurance. If you've got a policy, it's 100, 300, 100 instead of 500, 250, 500. You got to make sure you have enough coverage.
Yeah. The cheapest, the best insurance. There's not many things you can say that's a good buy. There's really two types of insurance that are really a good buy, and that's long-term disability insurance when you're an employer buying it as a group for your team. I buy it for our team, but a dirty little secret is it doesn't cost much. And the other piece of is liability insurance, like an umbrella policy and or upping the liability on your cars and on your home. And then adding to the top of it an umbrella policy. I carry a $10 million umbrella, and I think it's about $3,500 a year.
About 10x what
something
a million
like
one would cost.
It's roughly, it might be $4,000.
And a great tool for everyone listening, watching out there, go to RamseySolutions.com/checkup, and we'll do the work for you and show you the areas you might be exposed or underinsured. I just helped a team member do this, Dave, and they saved $80 a month with better auto insurance coverage.
Yeah,
you're paying too much. You got to get rid of that company and go talk to our friends at Xander, the Auto and Ramsey Trusted Pros.
Well, go to the PLC, the PNC on the website for their ELP, the Endorsed Local Providers for Property and Casualty, and they're all insurance brokers. They don't work for one company. They shop for you and get you the best.
And these are
deal
top-rated companies
on homeowners and you'll save money.
Yeah.
But you need to keep your liability high, especially when you start building your net worth. And then once you get to $500,000, you're right. You need to pick up $1 million umbrella, and then once you get to $4 million or $5 million, go ahead and pick up a $10 million. It's the best buy in the insurance world because of what she's facing. It's so sad.
I know. Well, and to minimize the potential loss of wealth, I hope your insurance company has a great lawyer that's going to fight for this.
Well, they got a lawyer that's equal to the amount they're exposed.
Yeah. Well, this happened to me, Dave. This was over 10 years ago now. I bumped into a lady.
I remember this.
She ended up suing me months later.
You had
a
car wreck right in front of the office.
It was so embarrassing.
The whole office watched George have a car
All of
wreck.
Ramsey's looking out the window, and I'm just out there in my little Chevy Cobalt. And I'm just going, oh my gosh.
Tearing up other people's stuff
with
fire
your little
trucks, Cobalt.
An ambulance, 2 police officers. There could not have, it looked like a parade out there.
Well, I mean, you were just driving. You were just a reckless person.
I bumped the door, and guess what? A few months later, this lady, I get served. She's suing for like $385,000. And I'm broke, and I'm on my dad's insurance, so he was exposed too. They ended up getting $25,000 from my insurance company, which was my limit, and $25,000 from her insurance company. She sued her own insurance company, and she got $50,000 out of the deal. So, but I didn't pay a cent out of pocket.
And was she really hurt?
No.
She
wasn't. No. They said we've never seen as many medical boxes that she sent over. She's a literal ambulance chaser.
Oh, really?
She had a lot of not her first rodeo, Dave. Let's say that.
Well, maybe she hit you, George.
That's what I got a camera the next day. I was like, I'm going to get a dash cam.
You got a little body cam because George's body's...
And I increased my insurance coverage the next day.
Wow.
Never again.
Yeah, but the next day is too late, by the way. That's the point of this whole email.
You don't get to go back in time. Thanks for listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires. Need help with your investments? Connect with a SmartVestor Pro at RamseySolutions.com/invest or click the link in the show notes. Ramsey Solutions is a paid non-client promoter of participating pros. Learn more at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.